Insta360 has released the Ace Pro, and this might just be my favorite camera because of its high quality 8K resolution and cool shooting features. While I've been testing the Insta360 Ace Pro, I've found out a ton of new features on it which may not be so obvious when you first turn it on. So in this video, we're going to cover what all the shooting modes are and what they do. Quick disclaimer that our intentions when making these videos is more so to give you good information and insight so you can make a more informed decision when making a purchase. With that being said, if you'd like to get your own Insta360 Ace Pro, check out 180x2.co.today or click the links in the description. First up is the single photo mode. Here you can decide between a high-res or low-res image to help you save space. So if you shoot at ratios of 4:3, you can use a 48 megapixel or 12 megapixel setting. And if you're shooting at 16:9, you can choose either 36 or 9 megapixels. You can also set a timer of up to 15 seconds and have the option to change the image format from JPEG to either pure shot mode, which uses AI to enhance the dynamic range of photos while reducing noise and preserving detail, or pure shot raw, which will save more data into your image, allowing you to do adjustments in post. Just note that shooting in this mode will drastically decrease the amount of images you can take due to their large file size. Next up is video mode. This mode allows you to record videos at resolutions of up to 8K at 24 frames per second, 4K and 2.7K up to 120 frames per second, and 1080p with a frame rate of up to 240 frames per second. Now before we carry on, let's just bring clarity to how frame rate actually works. To create a video, the camera actually takes a whole bunch of pictures in sequence. So if you're recording a 10-second video at a frame rate of, let's say, 50 frames per second, the camera will take 50 images per second over those 10 seconds, and the video is basically playing back the sequence of all those pictures. The actual difference that it makes is when you slow these videos down. Videos with a low frame rate may show what I call frame skipping, where higher frame rate videos look much smoother. Also, you may see some motion blur and fast movements, which can be a good thing for cinematic shooting, whereas high frame rate videos tend to be clearer, which can work well for sports videography. With the video mode, you can decide to have the stabilization on or turn it off if you'd like. You can switch your aspect ratio between 16:9 and 4:3, which are the standard aspect ratios on the camera, but you can also use 2.35:1 for widescreen videos and the new YouTube format. You can also toggle HDR on and off, which will give you better color and lighting response. Just note that HDR is not available for 8K and frame rates higher than 30 frames per second. Pure video mode. This mode improves image quality when shooting in low light conditions. With a resolution of up to 4K, you can only shoot up to 30 frames per second in pure video mode, and you have the option to decide your video length before shooting. Also note that you can only use the aspect ratio 16:9 in pure video mode. Free frame video. This records 4K footage at up to 60 frames per second. The trick here is that you get a guide that shows you videos from landscape and portrait at the same time, then allowing you to adjust your aspect ratio in post-production without doing any cropping. This is great for content that needs to be posted onto different social media platforms, like a YouTube video that can be tweaked for sharing on Shorts, TikTok, and so on. Another cool thing about this mode is horizon lock, which can keep your video straight even when you rotate the camera slightly to the left or right. You also get a 360-degree option, which will keep your camera view leveled regardless of which way you turn or rotate the camera. Time shift video. This allows you to speed up your recording and have it at normal speed while you're shooting. Time shift is similar to time lapse, but the big difference is that this is better for shots that include movements and dynamic time ramps. So while recording, you can only shoot at 4K and 30 frames per second with an aspect ratio of 16:9. You can change the preset duration of your video, and you can switch stabilization off, which I would advise you not to do because if you'll be moving, it'll help you get more stable footage. Then we have Timelapse. This feature has been improved on the Ace Pro by giving you a calculation of how long your time-lapsed video will be based on the settings that you've put in. You can see how long you'll need to record in order to get the length of video that you'd like. For instance, if I record for 30 minutes using a 1-second interval, the final time-lapse video will be 1 minute. If I turn it to a 5-second interval, I'll get 12 seconds of time-lapsed video, and a 10-second interval will give me 6 seconds. In Timelapse, you've got the option to use stabilization or not, and you can change your aspect ratio between the main aspect ratios, which are again 16:9 and 4:3. Loop recording. I found that the best way to explain this mode is by calling it dashcam mode. This allows you to record continuously and save the last fixed length segment of your video. Let's say you're driving, or maybe you're trying a new skateboard trick, for example. You can set the loop duration to 3 minutes, the camera will record continuously, and if the unfortunate accident happens or you finally land that trick after bailing a countless number of times, the camera will only save the last 3 minutes of video, which is all you actually need. You can record up to 60 frames per second in either 1080p, 2.7K or 4K, and slight horizon lock is also available in loop recording. Slow motion. This is pretty self-explanatory. The camera lets you shoot normally and will slow down your footage according to the frame rate you picked. A 15-second video can be slowed down to be as long as 1 minute. Remember that higher frame rates will give you even slower footage and also smoothen out all your motions. Starlapse. Starlapse allows you to shoot high exposure images at night, which gives you amazing visuals showing the movement of stars over time and creating videos or images showing starlight trails. Aspect ratio can be changed from 16:9 to 4:3, and you can preset your recording time and change the format from pure shot to pure shot plus raw. Burst photo. This allows you to take a series of images in a short amount of time by pressing the capture button once. There's different options or bursts that you can choose from, such as shooting 30 pictures in a second or even 30 pictures over 10 seconds. You get the two main aspect ratios, and in this case you can shoot in JPEG or pure shot. However, pure shot raw isn't available in burst mode. Interval. This is similar to burst photo, but in this case the camera automatically captures images with longer intervals between each shot. You get all the same settings as in the regular photo mode, with the addition of using intervals from 3 seconds to as long as 2 minutes between each shot. Last but not least, HDR Photo. Honestly, I am a little confused about this mode because you only get the low resolution options here, but basically HDR stands for High Dynamic Range. How it works is that the camera will help to balance out your colors and lighting when you're faced with very bright and very dark objects in the same shot. HDR Photo does allow you to use the digital zoom feature, and that is something that isn't available on the normal photo mode. And that covers the long list of shooting modes available on the Insta360 Ace Pro. There's still a ton of features to go through, so stay tuned to this channel to check out my honest review from using it, and remember to subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos, and give us a thumbs up if you found this video useful. Check out the links in the description to get your Insta360 Ace Pro, and keep a tab open for 180x2.co.za to stay in the loop of new 360 cameras and VR hardware. Until next time, keep it real.